Hello and welcome to the Virtually Rekt podcast. My name's Shuey from Power on VR. This guy over here is Mac from Mac in VR, and this guy down here that you can't see his face but is there, I promise, is Indie VR. How are we doing, guys?
Very
good.
Very well.
Just having some technical issues at the moment. Try and sort them out.
Oh, do you remember that the TV screen when there was technical issues in like the 80s and 90s would have that weird puppet thing next to the chalk? We should have found an image for that to put up for Indy's video for the night, and then just had a moving GIF mouth whenever he'd speak. It's like, hello.
Yeah, I don't know. The camera just keeps cutting out, so I'll try and sort it out one last time. But just as you were saying, Shuey, all right, we're going 3, 2, and then the camera died again.
Yeah, like literally as soon as we were about to go live, we spent like half an hour getting it right. It was fine, it was working, and then he obviously like kicked a button or kicked a cable somewhere, and it's all gone tits up. But anyway, it's Monday night. It is the Virtually Rekt podcast. We will start the same way that we always do, and that is, what have we been playing? What is it we're drinking? And while Indy fiddles with his stuff, let's start with Mr. Mac himself. Mac, what have you been drinking? What have you been drinking? What have you been drinking for 2 weeks solid? I want a list every night in a row. What are you drinking, and what have you been playing?
I am drinking my favourite Yellowtail Shiraz from Australia. Absolutely wonderful. Right, what have I been playing? Right, so I have been playing exclusively almost on my PSVR 2. So I've finished Horizon Call of the Mountain. Quite enjoyed that. Won't go there.
Shall we start off where we left off last time?
Been playing Resident Evil Village. Been playing a lot of Pavlov, but mostly I've been playing Gran Turismo 7 with the Fanatec, which you can just see in the background there. Yeah, so I'm totally addicted to my PSVR 2. Got my new headset. Yeah, everything's good. Everything's excellent. So, Shuey, what are you drinking, and what have you been playing?
I am still not drinking any of the alcohols. So I am just on my sort of favourite Tango Berry Peachy. I'm still not feeling very good about the drinking, so I'm sure that will change come WASD at the end of the month on the Saturday night. I'm sure I will drink a few then. But for the time being, none of the drinking. Hey, that's a video. I can remove this. There he is.
Yeah.
There he is.
Don't get too happy too soon, mate.
Oh, we're always happy to see you. Always. Right.
Sorry.
So yeah, like I said, like I'm not drinking, but what have I been playing? So almost exclusively have been playing PSVR 2. Mainly Pavlov. Like I'm oddly addicted to that game at the moment, like to the point where I'm jumping on there for like, I don't know, small little half-hour sessions just to go and get some search and destroy on, just to go and play. I play an incredible amount of gun game and deathmatch. I'm pretty addicted to them, but mainly because I am almost always the top player.
And you're not competitive.
And I'm not competitive, but because the PC players aren't there, it's all PSVR 2 players. And they've only been playing for a few weeks, and I've been playing for 2 years. So
you're a real scumbag, you know that.
Oh, mate, it feels so bad when, like, the amount of people that are just sitting there being like, how do I pick up my guns? And I'm just like, you just spawned, pow!
Get wrecked. Get wrecked.
The thing is I'm enjoying it as well, because I'm spending a lot of time going up to people and being like, by the way, yeah, right, there we go. His thing's back. The logo's back. So I've been going up to them and being like, by the way, did you know? And showing them things and explaining to how to actually go into the buy menu on Deathmatch. Explaining like how they should be running like search and destroy games. Because if you don't know, you just get utterly annihilated. So that's been pretty good. Yeah. Yeah,
with
like,
you stood behind me shouting,
God.
"Press the fucking buttons!" And I was like,
just
"I've
press
never
the
played
buttons,
before.
Max. Just press the fucking buttons.
I've
Yeah.
never played before." And I've got Shuey screaming in my ear, "Put the code in!" I'm like, "Ah, I'm old. Leave me alone."
Yeah, we didn't win that match, did we? We didn't win that game.
No, we did not. We got owned. We got owned. But I must say, the Soviet guns are shit.
Oh yeah, the Soviet guns are absolutely terrible. Like I'm not a fan. Like give me an M4 with a hollow sight and an angled grip any day of the week.
Yeah, but I mean, even like the AK-74, which is a 5.56, should be on a par with an M4, and it just isn't. You just like, oh, I missed. Oh, I'm dead.
Well, you know, learn the guns and get good. But
yeah,
anyway,
basically.
So the other thing I've been playing, which is something we'll go into more in a little while, is Ghosts. I picked it up for the first time on Friday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I hadn't. I'd had access to it for months and just hadn't managed to find the time or the inclination to dive in. But I would like to have a proper when we go into the actual segment of talking about Ghosts. I'd like to talk about my experience, let's call it.
Yeah,
because it was an experience.
We started playing a lot earlier than you, and we had more experience.
Yeah.
So, Indy, even though we can't see you, what are you drinking, and what have you been playing?
You can lie here, by the way. Like, this is for the first time. You haven't got a camera. You can tell us you've got like bottles of rum. You've got an IV drip of whiskey.
All of that stuff. And no, I'm just drinking good old holy water. I haven't. Okay, I mean, I played a few games since we last came on. Not as many as normal. Like Shuttle Maze I played, Guardians Frontline as well, which is actually pretty damn good. Yeah, it's got a lot of meat on the bone. Arxin, I did a play test. That's out in Q4. I play tested another game on my channel. It's called Consortium VR. And that's like a story-driven thing where you speak to people and it's like voice recognition. And another one which is called Utility Room, where it's like a walking simulator, but it's like crazy stuff going on an alien planet. And apart from that, I've done about 10 streams of Ghost of Tabor.
I did notice that. I have been dropping in your streams. I dropped in your stream earlier today as well.
Yeah. Yeah, appreciate it, man. I played this. Should we talk about Tabor now, or do you want to wait till later?
Let's wait. Let's do it because we want to do a full segment. So let's do a full talk on Tabor in a little bit.
Okay.
Let's start off with something. Let's start off with like the most negative bit of news that we've had for the week, and then go into something positive, whether that be Tabor or something else. I'll leave it up to you guys. But let's start off with the arguably largest headset manufacturer going at the moment, repeatedly kicking themselves in the balls.
Who can you be talking about, I wonder?
Oh, I wonder. I wonder.
So they had the disaster with the re-lowering of the price of the Quest and dropping 500 quid off the price of the Quest Pro. That was 2 weeks ago. They've just announced they're laying off another 10,000 employees.
So that we're clear as well, this is round 2 of laying off. This isn't the first laying off. This is, round 2 electric boogaloo.
Yeah, bloody hell. It's and as well, and what a lot of people haven't picked up on in the press release is they have also cancelled the recruitment of 5,000 people. So they had job adverts for 5,000 other people. They're gone. So that's like 25,000 potential positions gone from Meta. There's an interesting thing that he said. It's a reset, a year of efficiency. That's the word they used. A year of efficiency. I suppose losing 70% of your company value does that to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, he said that, and then he said to be an even greater magnet for the most talented people, a place to invent the future.
Yeah, so go to Meta.
Interesting.
You might get laid off next in the third round of fucking. I don't know. It just seems like they're thrashing about and they lack direction. So, yeah, strange situation.
So yeah, like, why do you think this is the exact reason for happening? Like, I don't want any of that you've lost 70% of your company bullshit, right? Because they could have done that straight off the bat. So
yeah,
why now? Because I've got my theories.
So my theory is that they spent most of last year pushing metaverse. There's that famous Connect where I think Zuckerberg said metaverse something like 52 times in his 10-minute speech. I think they've realized that is a long way away. That's my theory. And I think they've decided to concentrate on hardware and just let it happen more organically. That's my opinion.
Serge, thoughts?
Well, they've pumped a lot of money into the metaverse, and I don't think it's coming along as strongly as they thought it would. And they're trying to claw back some money by cutting down on staff and new jobs as well, which is, yeah, like you guys said, that's a lot of fucking jobs. That is.
It is, yeah.
Jobs. So yeah, I just think that they're bleeding through the arsehole at the moment from making too many mistakes.
That's putting it succinctly, yeah.
There you go.
I think that Zuckbucks has actually been told no. For probably the first time in a long time, he's been told the word no. And like the pathetic little child that he is, I think he's just gone, oh, well, if you're not going to give me my metaverse, I'm going to just throw all my stuff everywhere and see what happens. And by throwing stuff, he meant literal employees, livelihoods, jobs, and families.
Yeah.
I think basically the board of directors has basically said, right, okay, you had this dream and you pushed that dream and you've been a visionary for a while. And we were like, yeah, let's follow the visionary. This guy knows his shit. And then obviously they lost all the company. And they were kind of like, well, maybe he doesn't know as much of his shit as possible without doing things, that are wholly illegal, like selling people's data and things. And then I think...
Allegedly, let's not get sued. Do this, allegedly.
Yeah. I mean, we can go on to other things, like his other, like, dubious, morally corrupt shit that he's doing at the moment versus TikTok. But either way, like, the guy's a bit of a dong. And then I think Meta as a company have realized that actually them creating things is not actually a good idea, because people will create shit for you for free.
Yes.
And it will probably be better and more organic and cost you nothing.
Yeah.
I know I said free and cost you nothing, but it has to be reiterated that people are doing this for fucking free.
Yeah.
Like, you've got people like Triple Helix. Like, he created that world within Horizons.
Yeah.
He did it as part of a competition, admittedly, and he did it, but he did it for free. And then he won and got a load of money for it. But even if he hadn't have won or made any money out of it, that world would have still existed, right? That is a user-generated system that he has put in there. So yeah, I think that's probably the biggest bit of it, is, in my mind, it's just that Meta have realised that why spend money when you can get the cow for free and the milk.
Exactly. Which is one of the things, actually, when we went down to Pico for the first time, me and Chewy, that's one of the things that me, you, Rob, and Jay both said, is that modders will do this for you for nothing.
Yep.
Incentivize them. So yeah, definitely.
everything's most of the stuff that's keeping VR games alive at the moment is community generated content and modding stuff, isn't it? So, yeah.
Which is what does make me worried for the PSVR 2, if I'm honest, is the lack of ability to have user generated content on there.
Yeah.
For example, if Pavlov or contractors, because they are like, I use Pavlov specifically because we know crossplay is on its way in the next update. So that means you're going to have an influx of PC players, PSVR 2 players all playing together. Pray for them; they're going to get murdered.
Yeah.
But because they got horrible people like him. But the thing is, right, so one of the great things about Pavlov, and specifically contractors as well, is the user-generated content is absolutely stunning. All the Call of Duty maps available in contractors. If you ever want to play Call of Duty in VR, it's there on the PC. That crazy Jedi mod that we played, where you could leap 50 feet in the air with the lightsabers, that's the most fun you can have without your trousers on, mine. That was just brilliant. Kino de Toten, the full zombie Call of Duty experience on Pavlov, right down to right down to the music. I mean, like, you're a massive fan of Call of Duty Zombies, weren't you, Serge?
Yeah. I do love that. I keep meaning to go back in.
Yeah.
I was watching a video today actually on the what's going on with the contractors zombies. Slowly getting there. But Pavlov has got. I mean, if it's got everything, like the gobble gums and all the pack of punches and weapons, and it's a really good laugh. But there's a lot of with those games. Didn't like both games. I think they had a bit of a dip, and then loads of people started making content for the game, and then especially contractors. That's gone fucking crazy now, isn't it?
Yeah. When they released the moddable tools, everybody that was making content for Pavlov just went to contractors because. I'm not criticizing Pavlov here because I absolutely love it, but contractors is a more fluid game. You can slide cancel. It's it has more of that Call of Duty feel. So if they allowed the mod levels, wow, crazy.
Contractors has to be coming to PSVR 2. Like that video I put out last week, I hunted high and low for any kind of yes, we're definitely doing this. And I can't see, like, when all of the COD babies that have been playing Pavlov and have been like, this is the best thing ever, when they get a hold of contractors and they're just like, it's just going to be a whole different kettle of fish for them. They're just going to be like, oh wow, you can actually do COD in this game on this VR nonsense. Happy days.
One of the things I love about contractors as well is that you can individually set every single gun up for your Pro Tube mag cups. You can, because obviously if you've got a P90, it's a lot smaller. If you've got an M16, it's like this. You can actually adjust the position of every single gun and then save it. And then every time you pick up a P90, it just knows where your Pro Tube is, and it's one of the best things. Pavlov doesn't have that, so I've had to adjust my mag cups on my mag tube. So if Contractors comes to PSVR 2, I think, wow, that's going to be brilliant. I'm so looking forward to it.
Yes.
No, you go.
No, I was just going to say, so the reason I picked up Pavlov was COD Zombies mainly. I think I played maybe an hour of the normal modes. Same with Contractors. I saw the Halo mod and I saw the Star Wars mod, gave it a go, and then I was just like, okay, where's Zombies now? But it's coming along. It's improving. It's looking better. But I think the game that I've spent the most time in out of everything ever is Call of Duty Zombies and the VR version. So that's like my most played game. So I'm looking forward to what Contractors brings as well.
Yeah.
And
did you see?
Yeah.
Sorry, Ian. Did you see Mo Beast's comment in the chat? if Mac and Poweron start arguing again, what are we going to miss out on Indy's facial expressions? We weren't arguing; we were having a disagreement.
Nah, fuck it. We were arguing. You were losing. That was the important bit.
I would like to point out here that I did in fact lose that argument because I actually did finish Call of the Mountain last week, and a lot of the points that Shuey made are valid. I still enjoy the game. I still stand. Well, I still stand by it. I still stand by it. I think the game was great, expensive, but like so many video games, which is what we were talking about, the end was disappointing. And yeah, so yeah, I did in fact lose that argument. So
I did actually get to sit and watch Mac live on stream lose that argument as well, which was absolutely fantastic.
Were you sat there going,
1, yeah,
2, because you're not competitive.
No,
Sorry.
never.
Mac's on the red Mac juice today as well, so that gets him especially worked up. I think we learned that last week.
Maybe I'm not as argumentative when I'm sober. Maybe that's.
Could be.
Or no, hang on. Yeah, no, maybe I'm more argumentative when I'm sober. Sorry.
So yeah. Maybe you're a bit more chilled.
A bit more agreeable. Maybe I need to start like some edibles or something just to chill myself out on the stream.
Oh dear.
So yeah, that's pretty much. Is that on that's that topic?
Yeah. Fuck meta.
So we'll talk about Ghost of Tabor because, like I said, we want to sort of balance the negativity with the positivity. So I've played a lot of Ghost of Tabor, and I put about 50 hours in. But Surge, you've been blasting. How many live streams have you done? 6 or 7 in the past couple of weeks or week or so?
Maybe 8 to 10. I did 8 hours on the silo, and I thought, yeah, this is all right. You can do this in any game. It's just got a few bells and whistles, and I really wanted the island to come out, and then island comes out. I've done about 35 hours maybe.
Jeez.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I'm hooked on it, man. It's pretty damn good. It's got its issues, but we can go into that with Shuey.
They're called experiences.
Oh, experiences.
Not issues. Experiences.
Okay, so
shall you go first then?
Yeah, I was gonna say I want to do 2 things, and they're both kind of focused on me, and I apologize about that. The first is I want to give you my experience. So because I didn't start playing it, as I said, until Friday, and I want to give you my experience over the course of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because I got to play it a tiny bit Saturday, about a couple of hours Sunday, and maybe like 3 or 4 hours on Friday. So this is coming from purely a 6 to 7 hours worth of playtime. And then I want to use Surge almost specifically, and Mac, but mostly Surge, as like my Ghosts of Tabor guru to answer some of my questions.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try.
I mean, if you can't, no one can, mate. And if no one can, then obviously the game has some serious problems. So Friday, right? I decide all the way earlier in the week. I was like, right, Friday is going to be the day. Friday is going to be Ghosts of Tabor Friday. I'm going to load it up. I'm going to learn it, and I'm going to create content. I'm going to create TikToks coming out of my ass. I'm going to record 4 hours, and then I'm going to make like 7,000 TikToks. And what I actually did was had the record button working for 2.5 hours, and a lot of that was me messaging Fitz being like, what the fuck am I meant to do? Like, I've put the key cards in and several of the doors aren't open. I've gone to the state of play on the screen to try and see my mission, and the screen's just like, yeah, put key cards indoors. And I'm like, I've fucking done that. How do I go and buy guns? Because it got to the point after an hour and 15 minutes, right, that I just jumped into the map gunless. And I was just like, yep, let's just see what happens. Because at this point, fuck this game.
Well, so you do know that's the way that that is the way that Fitz plays the game. He jumps in.
That's a really good way to play. Yeah, I love playing like that.
He just jumps in like totally no weapons except a knife, and then
I didn't even have a knife.
Right, so Fitz and then comes out with armfuls of loot and dead bodies because he's a killer.
Yeah, so I'm messaging Fitz back and forth. And Fitz is playing, so he's not responding particularly quickly, and I'm getting more and more frustrated. I obviously go in, walk around the island for like what seemed like a million years, and then died to an NPC fairly quickly because obviously there's nothing I can fucking do. Didn't know about the whole breaking the neck thing at the time either, so
No.
So anyway, yeah, I eventually work out that I've missed a very key detail in the tutorial. And that detail is that you don't go to a physical place within your bunker to buy weapons. You have to click on the menu and then go somewhere, which honestly I think is a huge fuck up on their part. The fact that I have to teleport somewhere in the menu, I think like they could have put that portal anywhere. They could have put it on the buying screen. They could have put it on the mission screen. They could have put it on the loading into the island / silo screen. They could have put it.
They could have just put a door that you open into the market.
It's a few seconds loading screen, but it's a pain in the ass. You go back and forth. You can favorite stuff in the market that you can buy in the bunker, but it's like it's a pain in the ass, to be honest.
Yeah, but the thing is, because I missed that very key detail about there being a fucking market, because honestly, listening to the guy that looks like he's from the Lost videos for the Dharma Initiative was so unrelentingly boring. Like, I understand what they tried to do, and I love them for it, but if they'd have put a VHS or like a video screen in each one of the rooms, and I learnt the tutorial in each individual room, I'd have been like, yeah, cool, love it. But instead, I stuck in a VHS and watched what felt like an hour of straight tutorial. I think at one point, and it must have been the point where they explained about the market, I decided to go and change my socks. Because in real life, like I was just like, okay, these socks are actually not that comfortable, and I put the headset down and went and changed my fucking socks because it was more interesting in my weird messed up brain than watching the Dharma Initiative.
Shuey walks off and the man says, and here is the most important part of Ghost of Tomorrow. He comes back and there you go, that was the most important part of my feet are comfortable.
Yeah. So eventually I work out that there's a marketplace and I go and buy some shitty guns and have them delivered to me, only to realise that in the alpha, when you first go to pick up your stuff, it sends you like 1,000 weapons. It sends you fucking, like, it sends you MP5s, M4s, shotguns, Uzis, all of like the fucking attachments and a bunch. So I then spent a good 45 minutes going, grab, go to a different room, put them down, grab, go to a different room, put them down. Because I needed to get through to the point where the 3 backpacks that I'd purchased were like in the very last fucking row of shit that I had actually purchased. So that was super fun. Like, if there needs to be some sort of like mail system so that when they send you stuff, there'll be like a green flag on your little mailbox where you can go and you can be like, oh, they've sent me some nice gifts. I won't bother going to the market first thing. I'll go and check the buying page thing.
How about they just, once you bought something, it just automatically goes into your armory?
That would also be very nice. But I understand why they're doing it. They're trying to create a sense of you being there. And...
Yeah. You go to the shop, you talk to the guy, you buy your stuff. You go back to your bunker, you then assemble the gear, you then go and get fucking shot by some random twat like Surge, and you lose everything.
Yeah. So that was my first like 2.5 hours experience of Ghost. So at this point, I'm not really feeling it. But do you know what? I put it down and I spent a good 3 hours away from it, and then I'm like, I don't know why, but I want to go back and play it again. And
you have literally just nailed it. You've nailed it. So I've obviously been involved in it a bit longer than you. So I've actually been in the really, really early stuff where you would spawn in with your kit and your kit wouldn't be there. Your backpack would be missing, your guns would be missing, your armor would disappear. That rinse repeat sort of Tarkov gameplay where, you know, I was watching one of Indy's streams and he opened a box and there was like a 10mm Vector there. And it was like the black one. It wasn't like the tan one, the 9mm one. It was the black one. It was the 10mm, like the more powerful version. And Indy lost his shit. And I was like, yeah, that's, and he was like, I've got to get to an exfil point. I've got to get to an exfil point. And I think you had like an SKS or something with about, and you accidentally put the safety on without realizing. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And I was laughing like fuck. I wasn't actually in the chat. I was just sat back like this, going, he's put the safety on the bell end, and he's put it on his AK, and he hasn't realized.
Oh, thanks for letting me know. Cheers. I actually used that. I saved it till today. It's because it was before the wipe everything. I used it today.
Oh yeah.
With the drum mag, yeah, it's pretty damn cool, man. Taking people down.
Yeah. But like I said, I think what Shuey said there was you walk away, you think fuck that was frustrating, but then it's like in your brain, it's like a song, like an earworm, and you just think, well, what if I did this instead? What if I did that? And yeah, and and then when you go to your gun wall in your armory and you've got all these fantastic weapons and all the attachments, and it's just like, I even had a separate Heckler and Koch wall with my MP5s, my MP9s, my G3. Yeah.
I don't have any idea the names of the guns. If you ask anyone watching my streams, I don't know what this gun is. Fuck it, I'll just take the SKS. I've got the most kills, and I've got most kills with the SKS with just nothing on it, just aiming down sights in that game.
Yeah, it's a really good game.
So I kept finding. So when I went back, right, I kept finding players, and for the most part, like the players were super nice. And they were like, yeah, it's all good. Like, you'd pop off a few rounds, and rather than returning fire, they'd straight away go like, no, I'm cool. Like, everything's good. Even the non-verbal guys were like, no, it's cool. You know, don't worry about it. We're not going to just face off and things. Yeah. And that was kind of nice. And they showed me a few things and gave me a couple of bits and bobs, and that was nice. And then I went in for my second run of Silo, and I was just trying to get the shotgun kills for the mission. So I took in a pump action, and I was just like, ba-bam, ba-bam. And I heard like, because you can tell the difference in the sound of players coming around a corner and NPCs coming around a corner. And I was just like, yeah, well, I'm not like, I've been, for the most part, people have been nice, but there have been some massive dick bags.
Yeah.
And I was just like, right, so I'm literally standing around the corner, waiting for his head to pop out. And as soon as he does, because he doesn't know I'm there because I haven't been moving, as soon as he goes past, I've got him dead to rights. And I'm just like, dude, are you friendly? And he's like, no, I'm not fucking friendly. And I was like, wrong fucking answer. Straight up, just shotgun shell to the face. And then I kitted myself out quite nicely because he was fully geared.
And then I think I've run into 90% nice people. I think I made a short of a Tabor encounter where I ran into this guy, had him dead to rights. He was like, "Oh shit!" And I was like, "No, don't worry, mate. I'm friendly. He was like, "Oh, cool. I'll meet you around here." And in the video, you can actually see him raise his gun, and I'm like, didn't react, and he just shot me in the head and stole all my stuff. And I was like, "You dick."
The thing is I know that I'm going to be a mean player. But I'm not going to. I know that I'm going to be a mean player in that I'm going to want to go and hunt people, but I'm not going to be the guy that's like, oh, no, I'm trustworthy. I'm not. I'm going to be the guy that's 20 meters away shooting you in the face because I've been sat there ratting for like half an hour.
But that's what Walking Dead and Surge did when I was watching the stream. They were actually like deliberately hunting people down. That poor guy in the I say poor guy because he actually killed Indy, but that poor guy in the lighthouse.
When was this? The other day or the week, like a week ago?
I think it was yesterday. You were playing with Walking Dead.
Yeah.
You hunted that guy down to the down to the lighthouse, he took a few pot shots at you, and he started waving.
Oh yeah.
And Walking Dead was like, "Nah, fuck this," and tried to kill him.
Oh yeah. I've had some. The thing I love about that kind of game is I played a lot of DayZ back in the day, and the thing that VR is missing is a game where you can run around an open world, do that kind of shooting kind of stuff. Obviously, it hasn't got the zombie part, but it's the random interactions. Like I had one the other day with a Brazilian guy, and every time I have a random interaction with someone, they're new, and then they start getting shot at. It's so fucking funny. That's what I love about that is the random interactions. But at the same time, people are just shoot on sight, and it's just like it's hard to not do that unless you haven't got anything on. But then sometimes it's a setup. People are sneaky little bastards, aren't they? So
yeah, I think it's going to be good when you can like go in with a full squad, fully kitted out, and just do the Tarkov experience. You know, just try and get your loot, try and extract. You know, only engage if you have to. Yeah, I think it's going to be good. I'm really looking forward to making content on that game.
Okay, so question time then.
Okay.
Question time. How does ammo work? Because I couldn't manage to make ammo at all.
Right. In the armory, you have a little machine, right?
Yeah. You have the little coffee making looking motherfucker.
So and you put powder in one side and you put brass in the other.
Yep.
There's a little screen.
Yep.
Then you pick what you
557 or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell them how many boxes you want. There's a big brass lever, and you go whoop, and it pop pop pop.
Yeah, you just see it. Yeah. I didn't know, mate. I didn't know that for ages. Then Walking Dead told me, then I just forgot, and then started doing it again recently. So there's the type of so it's the type of ammo, armor piercing, tracer, or just standard.
Full metal
and
jacket.
Then it's like how many? Yeah, full metal jacket, and then how many boxes you want to make, and then it just pisses them out.
And next to it, there's a machine that you put your magazine in.
And then...
Take the box, open the box. You have to physically open the box. If you hold the box over the spout of the machine and pull the trigger on the hand you're holding the box with, it dumps all the ammo into the sort of funnel.
Yeah.
And then there's like a little tiny white screen. You just tap that and it fills the bag.
Okay, so here's a question then. If you stick a bunch of 557 or 357 or whatever into the top, and you stick, I don't know, a 9mm magazine, but what happens?
Nothing.
So it will still register that those other shells are in there, but it just won't fill the magazine.
Yeah. And then and if you put, I saw it today, so I don't know if it was happening before, but if you put a different anything in there, and then you put the magazine from before in, it remembers what's left in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
From the other bullets you made.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's got better because if you put if you made 556 ammo and put it in the hopper and then put like a 9mm magazine in and pulled the 9mm magazine out, what happened was all your 556 ammo just splurged onto the floor. So you ended up with like 50 rounds on the floor. But it, like I said, it's another thing that they fixed, which is one of the things I do like about Ghost of War is that they fix things like nearly daily. So if people start saying, if people start saying, "Oh my god," like I kept going into the raid, I'd have my armor, my gun, my magazines, absolutely fine. Go to get my backpack's gone, which is really annoying when you've got the big backpack, which you can fit another gun in.
Yeah.
And then you're then thinking, "Oh, I've got to troll around trying to pick up a bloody backpack now." And so these things. That's one of the things I do like about Combat Waffle Studios is they very, very, very quickly fixing problems. So I don't know how people feel, because obviously we got it for free. I don't know how people will feel about it once they've paid for it and it still has issues, because it does at the moment.
I mean, it's the same as other early access games though, isn't it? Like you know going into it, it's an early access game.
How come it's not on Steam yet? I just checked it out. It's just not showing on Steam. It should have released an hour ago. Anyone in chat know why?
Well, they can answer while here's the last part of my experience. Okay. No, actually, no. First of all, does anyone know how to fix the fucking sights?
No, they're off on some guns.
Oh, thank you. I thought it was just me.
No, they're off on some guns.
Not a single zoomed scope of any description on any gun works for me. I cannot get them to work. I cannot use sniper rifles. I cannot use ACOGs. None of it works.
Okay, right. So So the thing about the scopes is, so if you get like a not the ACOG, because that's like a ×4 and that's set. Do you know that on the scope there's a
there's a little dial, which I thought was awesome until I couldn't see through it.
I think it's going to be there. There are some guns that you put sights on and they're not pointing in the right direction. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I also had that exact same problem with the not the Cobra. What's the other one?
Oh, the one with like the sort of half dome.
Yeah, so I stuck that on an AK, and I was talking to Fitz on Discord at the time, and I was aiming at this guy, and I was just like, shoot, okay, that didn't hit him. That didn't hit him. Maybe they've got a really weird spread. So I emptied off this was on single shot. I wasn't on burst or anything. I emptied off like most of the mag, and I hit him twice. And I had to adjust for it by like 2 meters.
Yeah. It's a known issue.
Okay, that's fine then. That's fine. So
that explains. Gone.
No. So you didn't know about this either, Indy?
Because I asked in my chat today what the hell's going on, and I think I've got a couple of kills with any kind of sight, and then I think that's why all of my kills have been with the SKS with just the standard iron sight.
So I noticed. So my best loadout was an M4. So you have an EOTech. Sorry to be technical. The EOTech red dot sight, which you'll know what it looks like, but then it has a flip up ×3.
That
the one that we always used to use in Onward, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that works really well.
Yeah.
That works really well for distance, and it works really well for. But that is actually physically designed for an M4. So I think what's happening is because AKs have a different mount, that it's kind of putting the sight off a little bit. But obviously, that's something they're going to have to work on.
Yeah, well, I don't like fucking AKs anyway. So here was I know, terrible. Give me an M4. But so against my better judgment, right? So this guy, I didn't actually realize how much money I had, because in the alpha they were just like, here's 200k.
Yeah.
Right. So I didn't actually realize, and eventually this guy was just like, oh, you realize you've got a shitload of money, right? You can just go and spend some money and splurge. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So I went into the market, and I was just like, okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to buy 2 sets of one loadout, right? And so I went and I bought a Scar H, because I was just like, okay, yeah, we're going to go for mid distance. We're going to buy, so we bought 2 Scar H, 2 AGOGs, 2 angled grips, 2 silencers. I kitted out my pistol as well, all with everything. And I was like, I bought a load of extra gear, and I was like, right, we're going to go for one more big island push, and we are going to hunt people. We are gonna rat our fucking ass off. We're gonna hunt people to begin with. We're gonna grab some stuff, and then we're gonna go and sit by an exfil, and we are just gonna wait for them to come, and we are just gonna pick those wankers off, right?
You horrible bastard.
And I am geared to fuck, so I am just like, yeah, I don't even care if I lose it all. It's the last day before the reset anyway. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
So I grab all the stuff. I spent ages, putting everything in the bag how I wanted it, like my extra magazines that I put in there. I had 2 magazines on my chest. I had sorted out the gun exactly how I wanted, and I was feeling super happy. And I loaded into the island, and my hands glitched.
Yeah.
So my hands were out here. And I could move, and I could turn around, but then my hands would be like behind me, right? So I can't reach my gun, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I've just spent half an hour gearing up and readying myself for this trip. and it's seriously going to fuck me. And it's the last chance I'm going to have to play that day, and before the reset. So I decide, right, I'm going to see, because I haven't managed to grab anything, because obviously my hands are fucked. I'm like, maybe if I walk around for a minute or so, maybe it'll fix the glitch. It doesn't. You need to reload the game, and that really angered me. But eventually, right, so about 45 seconds later, we're near the big sort of concrete walled compound. And
a military base, yep.
Yeah, but my thought was, right, this isn't going to fix it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and sneak my way to the exfil point, right? So I start sneaking, and someone sees me, and I start hearing shots, and I'm like, oh shit, 17, and I'm fucking weaving and going behind trees, and this guy is not hitting me, right? So I'm just like, okay, it's an NPC, it's fine. Like, they'll give up after a while, and he doesn't give up, and I'm like, okay, this is starting to feel like not an NPC. This definitely feels like a player. And he can't hit anything. Like, this guy has reloaded like 3 times. He is just firing down range. And we're probably only about like 80 yards from each other.
It's like a noob fight.
But he's literally like, I have no arms, so I can't fire back. And but I eventually managed to like sneak around in such a way that he doesn't know where I am. And he goes right to the top of this mountain. And I get so close to him because I'm trying to tell him, dude, I'm glitched. Do you mind just not being a cunt? Right? Do you mind just not killing me? And I walk up to him and I'm just like, dude, friendly. Like, I literally don't have hands. I know you can't see my hands doing anything, but I'm definitely waving at you. And he just turns around and he's just like, bang. And I was like, well, I'm not dead from point blank. This guy's fucking awful. And then I have to sit there and watch him reload while he's about, like, knowing that he's about to just kill me, and I'm losing all my stuff. And do you know what? I just rage quit. I straight up was just like, no, I'm not even going to shut down the game. Headset off, on the side. This game is both like the best and worst thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, I got like everyone says to me, how can you not get pissed off? All these streams with the bugs and that, I'm used to it, testing games or whatever. And today, I did actually get pissed off because I had a random interaction with a guy, and we ended up being friends. And as soon as I friended him, someone was there. It always happens when I chat to someone. There's another person start scoping us. I was like, this could be a setup. So anyway, I went inside, started chatting to him, and then he didn't have any guns. He's a noob running around. And I said, oh, I found the gun. And I was like, all right, let me start shooting this guy. And the noob just came running in the room. He started talking another language. So I thought it was the guy we're trying to kill. So I killed the noob by accident. And then I went to kill the other guy, and I flanked him, and I had him dead to rights. And the sight obviously was off. And then I pulled out my gun, which is kitted up to shit. And it just kept spinning around in my fucking hand. Then I got my pistol out, and you know, he got close. I could have easily killed him because he didn't see me, and that's the only time I got pissed off of it. But it is annoying that it's not your. Yeah. You know,
that has happened to me. It's the one where you spawn in and you go to grab your gun, and then it just starts spinning for some reason. So what you have to do is grab it with the other hand, let go with this hand, and then re-grab it. That solves that problem.
I think I tried that.
Oh, well, maybe it's even more broken than it was when I last played.
But listen, we need to, the three of us need to squad up and do a stream.
Oh, yeah, 100%, 100%.
We have to do it.
So I'm going to ask Serge first because he's played the most. I'm going to ask Shui next because he's played the least, and then I'll give my little input. So just like a short paragraph about how you feel about Ghost of Tabor. Shui. Serge.
Yeah, I love it. Coming from DayZ, PUBG, it's all about the random interactions, even though when I play Walking Dead, he just kills everyone and he makes me a murderer. Bugs aside, I've just keep going back to it, and it's the same thing, Shui. It's like, I don't know why. it's the same map, it's the same thing, but because every playthrough is different, I think that's why DayZ's still going strong as well. Just everything's just random, and you do get to sometimes meet people, and when you're in this, I've done probably about 30 hours on my own, and then 5 to 6 hours with other people.
Moby's had a good idea, and the viewers hunt the streamers.
I am
so up for that.
We'll do that,
in the same lobby though. That's the thing.
Well, we'll just have to try our best we can to see what happens.
Do like a 3, 2, 1 join.
Yeah, and see what happens basically.
So, okay, Shuey, same question to you then.
No,
what are your feelings about Ghost of Tabor?
No, I think I summed it up perfectly what I said a second ago. It's both the worst and the best game that's happened to me this year. It has everything that I want. Like, I spend a lot of time when I'm flicking through TikTok and things. I'll come across streamers that are playing Tarkov. There's this guy who's like my favorite content creator on there at the moment. I can't remember what his name is, as bad as that sounds. But he keeps cropping up on my For You page, and he's a pure Tarkov rat. Like he yeah. Do you know what I mean by ratting?
Yeah. No. Just going in and killing people and trolling people.
Kind of. Ratting, I think, is more where you just sit and lay in wait. Like you're not actively hunting, but you're waiting for the opportunity. I think that's what it is. But this guy, literally all he does, and he sits there and he eats Cheez-Its while he's waiting to do his ratting, and he's just like, I'm gonna wait. There's a guy over there in that building. I'm gonna wait for him to clear it out, come outside, and then I'm gonna pop him in the face. And the whole time he's just like,
shit.
He sat there. He did a stream in his kitchen where he was making like cheese toasties, waiting for these guys to come out of this building. But yeah, like stuff like that, it really gets me involved, and despite all of the problems, I am really enjoying myself, despite the rage quitting.
Yeah, so for me, I'm a proper gun nut. I know the names of all the guns. I know how to reload them. I know what caliber rounds they take. So for me, like making the rounds for the guns, I love that. I have all my guns stacked in sort of SMGs, and then I have my assault rifles, and then my heavies, and then my bolt actions, and I even had this little
Oh, Max paused. Max frozen.
G3.
You froze for a sec there, buddy.
Sorry, yeah. I hugely frustrated, and doing some of my streams, I was like, nah, fuck this game, I'm out. But I still went in and did another raid.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, fuck it. I'm just going to go in with nothing. And those are sometimes some of the best raids you have, because you're just walking around, and like a lot of the time I'd run into Fits, or I'd run into like short stock VR, short stock VR, short stack VR. And I ran into a load of the devs. And they're like, dude, you haven't got anything on. I'm like, yeah, because I kept buying shit and then jumping into the game, and it would just take it off me. They were like, oh man, have this. And I was like, and that's part of the community that I love. I am a non-aggressive player. If I see somebody, I will raise my hands first, and if they start shooting at me, then I'll try and kill them. So I enjoy that part of the game more. But getting into a squad of 4 people and then just going hunting, that sounds, as long as I can go in with my gear, loot, and come out with my gear, then the game will be perfect, as close as it can be.
I really desperately want them to add one feature to this. Okay, and I want that feature to be being able to collect people's dog tags.
Yeah, like you used to do in Battlefield.
I think that's in Tarkov as well.
Yeah, I want to be able to collect someone's dog tag, and or because they're actually doing less about dog tags and more doing like sleeve patches in the game. Okay. I want them to have somewhere in your bunker that you can actually put up a kill. Like this is their patch. I want to put that on my list of kills. I would love that to be a feature. It'd be fantastic, because it would really create because at the moment, and you can't tell, there's no difference between people, is there? You can't, and other than voice, there's nothing that gives them away.
No, it's either Phoenix or Ghosts at the moment, but they are going to add in the sort of Russian element as well.
The Volk, yeah.
Yeah, the Volk. What was I going to say there? Sorry, it's gone. Just carry on.
Fitz said you should be able to scalp them. And binoculars is something that we spoke about a lot on the stream. Binoculars would be great.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine being able to sight out for your sniper friend.
Wind elevation. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that would be cool.
If VR lacks that, only game that has that kind of mechanic is Virtual Hunter.
They've got it on Armor as well, Armor 3.
Is that in VR?
No, it's not. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
But it can be done. Obviously, it can be done.
Right, pick a subject, boys. I need to take 5 minutes.
All right.
I'll be back.
What would you like to talk about, Serge?
What about your PSVR most downloaded, PSVR 2?
Okay, yeah. So this is quite a strange one, because I'm just trying to find the page I had up, which now has disappeared. Yeah, so when the PSVR 2 launched, obviously the big games were Call of the Mountain, Resident Evil Village, and Gran Turismo 7. But the three the three most downloaded games at number 3, Pavlov. Number 2, Call of the Mountain. Number 1 was Kayak VR, which is a game I played a while ago on PC, which is basically it's a kayak simulator, but they use photogrammetry, which is a technique where you basically would 3D scan an area using cameras and then build the level using AI, and it just looked incredible. And on PSVR 2, using the eye tracking and the foveated rendering, it is just unbelievable. Now, I got the key off the developer, but I'm not just saying that because I got a free key. It on PSVR, like on PC, it's really good. It's really good. On PSVR 2, it's fucking incredible. So if you want to, paddle out into the Norwegian fjords in a thunderstorm, it's just so pretty. I mean, I know I've said this before, that I'm a bit of a graphics tart, but Kayak VR, I think, is the best looking game I've ever played in VR. It's photorealistic. It's relaxing because you can just paddle and look at the tropical island, or you're in the Arctic, or you're in the fjords in Norway, or there's another level in, I think it's Australia. There's like a canyon. Yes, absolutely, mate. Mate, you actually played it before me, didn't you, on PC?
I played it, I think 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Years ago. Yeah. When they first let content creators play it.
Yeah, I think you actually got me in contact with BLT Sandwich, didn't you, on Twitter? So
I think possibly.
Thank you for that.
No worries, mate. Yeah. It's So I didn't play the since 2 years ago. I haven't played it, but I know what it looks like, and something that looked better than what it was before.
It's also got a asynchronous multiplayer, which means there's like a time trial version, so it's like proper Olympic paddling through gates and all that sort of stuff. And you can race against your friends, but they're ghosts. If you understand what I mean, if you've ever done any sim racing, yeah. So yeah, and that is quite absorbing as well. Trying to beat your friends, like seeing where they are, where they're quicker than you, how they're turning better than you. So obviously, for a long time I was part of a water rescue unit when I was in the fire brigade. So for me, the paddling is really, really good. So I've got this really weird thing that happens to me where when I'm paddling on my left side, it's actually stronger than my right side. So I actually have to paddle, paddle. So I have to do a corrective. I have to do every sort of 7th stroke. I have to do a corrective stroke. That sounds like some sort of weird masturbation problem. But it actually happened to me in Kayak VR. So I was like paddling away, and I was like, "Oh, I've started to turn left. Shit, I have to do my corrective paddle." And that's and it's so weird that it could actually pick that physical trait out from me, from being from actually doing paddling. That and it actually picked it out. It's just such a good game, and it's if you just want to sit in a video game for 30 minutes and just watch turtles swim up past you and watch whales jump out of the sea when you're in the Arctic, and you just want to sit there in a fjord in a lightning storm. It's just so I'm actually not surprised that Kayak VR was the most downloaded game.
It just needs a harpoon update now.
Oh,
fuck those pesky animals.
Horrible person.
But they're bringing out multiplayer as well.
That's coming as well. So, but I strongly suspect that they're not the most played games. I strongly suspect that Resident Evil, Gran Turismo, and Horizon are the most played games, but they're the most downloaded.
I think because it's down Gran Turismo. From what I've read, what I've heard.
Chewy's eating bread.
No,
he's not even drunk.
No,
it's a shot.
This is Rocky Road. It was my wife's birthday at the weekend.
Oh, so happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I'm the only one that's played Gran Turismo 7 here, I do believe. Because Chewy doesn't have it.
Chewy's waiting for if you're going to get racing wheel and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. Gran Turismo 7, and I've so I had a guy comment on my Gran Turismo 7 video, and I quite simply said, look, Gran Turismo 7 is the best sim racing experience I've had for several reasons. It's plug and play, the steering wheel, the GTD Pro just works, and if you're a massive car geek like I am, Gran Turismo 7 is like a Disney World for cars. And I said, that's the best sim racing experience I've ever had. Now, I'm guessing this guy is one of those who has adenoids and takes a big deep breath in through his nose and goes, no, you don't want to say that's the best sim racing experience because you can't do this and you can't do that. And his post was enormous. I mean, like,
was it like that guy that ripped apart my?
Yeah, it was
video.
And I just and I really, really felt just like posting. Yeah, but I had fun, just to fucking take his sales away, because I really despise people like that. And they go, and he listed all of these things that Gran Turismo can't do. All this, no dead point for the steering wheel. There's no, there's like, and it's like that. And I said it in my review. I'm not a technical guy. I just had fun. And Gran Turismo to me is just a fun game. If you like cars, and if you like racing, it's just fun and it just works. You don't have to have a 4090 in your PC. You don't have to worry about the frame rate. You just jump into a race and it just looks fucking amazing. So, fuck you, Dick. There you go.
I was wondering who you're talking to then.
That's for you.
I was going to ask you guys as well, just an aside thing. So I saw Walking Dead's out tomorrow. It's $32.99.
Is it tomorrow?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, hold on.
Tonight, tomorrow. It depends on what platform it's on.
Yeah.
So it releases on PSVR 2 tonight it releases at midnight wherever you are.
Okay.
Right, so if you're in Pacific, it releases at midnight. Yeah. If in the UK, it releases at midnight. So it's like a sort of staggered release. Sorry.
So I was just going to ask. So that's $32.99. Now, is that how much Kayak Mirage is? Is that because we debated this before the PSVR 2 came out? Is that the going rate for a AAA game on the PSVR 2?
No, fucking Walking Dead's like 60 quid.
Is it?
It's 32. Hold on a minute.
Hang on, no, something's up here. Like,
no, honestly, I was going to buy it.
Go on, chat. Start ripping us a new one for not having all of our information up front.
I Oh damn! No, it's $49.99.
Thank you. Yeah.
I was looking at the original one.
It's fucking expensive. Yeah, you can get it in a bundle with the original for 60 quid, but the actual Walking Dead Saints and Sinners 2 is £50.
Hang on, so how much is it on fucking Steam then?
It's $32.99 on pre-order on PlayStation. I've got the website up.
Yeah, that's what I'm now searching. Hang on, so
PS4, PS5, Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution pre-order £32.99. I'm
Oh,
not
right,
using
okay.
VPN or anything.
hang on.
So.
Aftershocks
Yeah,
is
no,
$39.99.
Yeah, there it is. There, look. Can you see?
$32.99. Okay.
Yeah. No. I searched. Honest to God, I searched earlier today and it was £50.
Oh well, good. So pre-order is $32.99. That's weird, but I'm not signed into Sony or anything, so I don't know.
Hang on. I wonder whether if that's the pre-order price, and I don't order it now, is it going to be $49.99 tomorrow? Because I then need to go and buy it right now.
Yeah, possible.
Oh, right. Okay. So, Jason, Mr. Luvich said it's €40, 50 for the special edition, and 60 for 1 and 2. So you get like the original and
okay.
And as well, if you buy the premium bundle and get the original version, the Retribution guns are available in one.
That's pretty cool.
So you can have an M4. You can have an M4 with a laser sight. You can have the shotguns and the Uzis.
But then wouldn't that make Chapter 2 a bit like there's no extra guns in it then, like, as you're playing through it?
Dude, my biggest problem with Chapter 2 is it's got one level or two levels over what the first game had. They just rehashed it.
I'm still going to play the shit out of it.
That's why I'm not getting it. That's why I'm not getting it. I did like the first one.
I bought it on Quest and I played it and thought, now this is rubbish. But I've now got it available on the PC VR version. So there's no way I'm going to buy the PSVR 2 version because...
Well, then I feel like I have to buy it just because you guys are going to be all whingy and whiny about it. And, you know, Serge is obviously, he's not going to buy it even though he doesn't have a PSVR 2. So I'm just going to buy it. And then,
He had a PS5.
Did he? I haven't heard this story.
Somebody talked to me selling it to get the Quest.
No, this is actually really interesting because we've got 3 different viewpoints on this at this point, right?
Yeah.
Because we have Indy, who is just straight up not buying it. Hasn't played it, isn't going to buy it, right? You've got Mac, who has bought it on Quest, he's played it, and he's kind of butthurt about it. And there's me, who hasn't played it, who's been waiting for 4 months for it to come out on a system that he wants to play it on, either PC or on PlayStation VR 2. And I'm still sort of happy-go-lucky, and I'm going to get to be Walking Dead guy again.
Right, so to caveat all that, the Quest 2 version when it launched was absolutely dire. Dire.
I saw your stream.
Oh my God. I was like, there's a certain point where I'm looking out of this broken building and it's just a flat. Nothing. You're not even looking at anything. It's just a flat polygon. And like you had zombies that were there, but you couldn't see them. They were making noises. There was all sorts of glitches. And so I just went, nah, I'm not going to play this. I'm not going to play this until it comes out on PC VR. So to counter what you're saying, I think the PSVR 2 version is going to be the definite version, right? I buy it, enjoy it. I'm not going to spend that money because I already have it. It's going to come out on PC VR for the Rift, on the Oculus Store. So I'm going to play that version, and obviously it's been out for a while now, so it'll be patched, it'll be better, the lighting will be improved, the zombies won't be just disappearing. So if I hadn't played the Quest 2 version, I would definitely be buying it on PSVR 2 because I think that's going to be the definite version. I have said that before. So I want you to enjoy that experience because Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is still, to this day, one of the best games on Quest and PC VR. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. No. Sorry, mate. was just going to say I did love the first one, but on the grounds of that copy paste shit, I'm like, nah, I'm not doing it. So what is the AAA price then of a game then? Is it 40 quid? Obviously, apart from Horizon, obviously, because that was.
Well, yeah, like Horizon was 60 quid, which is one of the things that like me and Shuey were arguing about. If it had been £30, I don't think I'd got my knickers in a twist so much about it. 60 quid's a lot of money.
Yeah, 60 quid is a lot of money, but then, I mean, this is what I was talking about at the Pico event, right? The model of going free to play.
Yeah.
And then £60, it does seem like a lot of money. When most people are perfectly happy to sit there and play Call of Duty for free.
Yeah. So
Shall we talk about Pico then?
No, I need to go for a quick comfort break before you do that. So can you guys talk amongst yourselves for a little bit?
All right, we can just talk about how Marcus Phoenix is a wanker.
Oh, Serge, did you hear about that time I fucked his mum?
Yeah, oh my god, she was dirty. One dirty little slag, wasn't she? Gave me the chainsaw.
I hate you. I hate you. I love you in equal measure. Right, I'm going for a quick comfort break. Back in a second.
Yeah, go for it, mate. Go for it.
I reckon we should spend some time interacting with chat a bit.
Yeah, okay.
Because they've been bringing up some stuff. So, as it turns out, for some reason, my Discord got rid of the Ghost of Tabor, and someone's just said that it's blowing up right now, and I don't know why. So I've just rejoined it. Why is it blowing up? What's going on? What crazy shit's happening? Is it just because it's been released today? Is that the thing? Is that why it's everyone's all
people are getting keys apparently?
Oh, okay. Oh, so these are the people that just haven't even been in the alpha test, maybe.
I think what it is the people that paid on their website, they're getting the keys now, and then the Steam it's going to be a little bit in a few hours, I think.
Oh, okay, something about tickets and broken everything. Fair enough.
There's been a lot of stuff come up. I can't scroll. What the hell?
God, you're really having trouble with this whole tech thing today, dude.
I know.
What? I have to do more things before I can. I have read and agreed to the rules. I have definitely read them. That's definitely something I would do in order to continue chatting in a Discord server. They've got loads of different things.
I think there's a lot of talk about Tabor. Where else?
I was so gutted that I couldn't go to the launch party. The launch party looked absolutely phenomenal. Have you seen any of the stuff about it?
I watched some of the live stream. UFC was on Saturday, so I was like going in and out. So I was watching it a little bit here and there.
Okay. What's Pico's announcement on Wednesday? Ooh, wouldn't you like to know? I can't tell you that I definitely know. I didn't know they were making an announcement on Wednesday. Hang on. I assume that's on Twitter you're talking about. Because I might be able to discern what it's about, depending on what they've said. Come on, Twitter, you are slow as balls.
So, who in chat has watched The Last of Us, the TV show? I've got 3 episodes left. I don't know what everyone thinks of it. Game related, not VR, but. Did you watch it, Shuey?
Sorry, say that again.
The Last of Us, the TV show.
Oh, no spoilers, no spoilers.
Okay.
It's not good. You can't spoil it.
Have you completed the game yet?
Yeah, no, I completed the game fucking years and years ago. But the thing is my wife's in the other room and we're watching it together, and we've got 2 episodes to go. And if it gets spoiled, she's gonna
3. Yeah.
Don't listen. Stop listening. Put your headphones back on. I'm not playing. I've genuinely just told her to put her headphones back on so that she doesn't hear any of this.
Yeah, it'd be good to see what people think of it. We start with.
Okay, so I'm looking through Pico's website currently, and it seems like people are talking about save the date, 22nd of March. I think it's just because they're going to be somewhere doing something. I'm guessing it's probably coming to US markets. Is probably what it is. But there is some stuff that me and Matt can talk about in a minute. There is going to be new information to you guys. He's back, so
I have returned.
He has done the returning.
Returning.
Okay.
So can I'm ahead of you. I'm not gonna no spoilers. Honestly, nothing. I played the game. I didn't like it. The TV series is going to go down as a classic. That's all I'm going to say. It's just so good.
Which bit of the TV series was a classic, but the game wasn't, Mac?
I've got something to say about this as well.
No. Yeah, okay. So I need to explain. First of all, I'll go back and explain the exact reason why. I played Gears of War 3, which is still one of the best.
One of the worst.
Press mute.
One of the best third-person shooters I've ever played. It was slick. It
boring,
took skill,
repetitive.
It was just incredible game. I love Marcus Finks as a character. I loved all the guys as a character. I loved the A Train. I loved all that. Not the A Train. That's from fucking The Boys.
The Boys, yeah.
And then The Last of Us came out, so my niece had a PS5, so I borrowed it and I played it, and I didn't like the gameplay. It was the same sort of cover shooter mechanic as Gears of War, but I didn't like the fact that it didn't matter where you were aiming. It was like that sort of weird sort of thing. Oh, Ellie's a young girl, and so she can't hold a gun properly and all that bullshit. But the story between Joel and Ellie is just still, as much as I didn't like the gameplay, the story was incredible. And what they've done with The Last of Us, the TV program, is they've taken all of the stuff I loved about the game and they've just condensed it into two incredible actors. I'm talking about the guy who plays Joel and the girl who plays Ellie. It's just amazing. They just keep getting to situations you just want to say, oh, please, for fuck's sake, just leave them alone and let them do what they need to do. The Last of Us TV program will go down as The Wire, The Sopranos.
Don't go too far, mate.
No, I
really,
as a video, it's the best TV. It's the best TV program, film, whatever that's ever been made about a video game.
Ooh,
right.
Oh, and do you know about the Naughty Dog tweet?
No.
Naughty Dog did a tweet where they had a picture of the picture of a PSVR 2 laid over a picture of.
Ooh.
Yes.
Maybe a VR model, an actual VR game.
I imagine that's going to be an experience, and it's going to be. Yeah.
Oh my god, taking on a clicker in VR, my god, that's going to be fucking awful. That's going to be awful.
I think no. What my thoughts are, what I've seen so far, it's decent. It's worth watching. I think that woman from 2.5 Men is the most unconvincing bad guy I've ever seen in my life. I just looked at her and her acting was so bad. And I know you're going to hate this, but Princess Moomin face, I don't know, she annoys me.
No, so she was in Game of Thrones. She played one of the smaller houses, heads of one of the small houses. And I thought when she was on the screen, she dominated because she was so young, but she was
imposing, man.
Oh, she was great. It was like, how many people can you give us? I can give you 13. All right, okay. She's like, yeah. And I think she carries that forward into the role of Ellie. I think she's fucking hard as nails for one thing, but you got to remember she's still a 13-year-old girl, and it's just there's so many things happen to her that
I was really taken aback at the difference in looks between her and Ellie. initially, but actually she's grown on me a lot. I think she's done an absolutely fantastic job. In fact, I would say that I'm actually a little bit disappointed in his portrayal of Joel. On the whole.
I kind of disagree. So again, no spoilers. But when you watch episode 8, you need to go to the Easter egg section, and you will be fucking blown away if you don't spot it, because I spotted it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll finish it and I'll give you the verdict. Yeah.
What episode are you on, Chewy?
So we finished 7, but me and my wife kind of have a rule about if there's a last episode,
you have to do 2.
Yeah, so we consequently haven't. So we might do that tomorrow night.
We'll see. Me and my wife. Right, okay. Episode 8 is a great Easter egg. Serge, where are you?
I've got 3 left. I've got 7, 8, 9.
Okay, yeah. So you're going to get the same experience, yeah.
Cool. Right. Anyway, let's talk about the Pico event.
Yeah, because Shui's got to go in for less than 40 minutes, so.
Yeah. Right. So,
because he has a job.
I unfortunately do have a job, and that
unlike us two retrobates
kind of fucking sucks. So
working for a living.
You should get a goblet, Mac. Dress up as the fucking as the Lord.
The crown.
A goblet and a crown to go with his shit-eating grin.
I am a man of leisure. My shitty what?
Shit-eating grin.
One day you'll be old, and you've got a limited time left on this planet.
No. See, I plan on retiring early. That's like in a year or two.
Which is one of the things about the Pico event that we need to talk about.
Yes.
So there have been a few things that I've been having to keep quiet, because I wasn't certain how public the knowledge was, and I was given the impression that things needed to be kept hush-hush. But as it turns out, I may have been wrong on that. But let's go through the actual event first. So me, Mac, Click from Fun with the Clicks, Rob from Silver Tongue Devil, and Beanie, who is the community manager for Super Bright. We turned up at Pico. It was a bit different from last time. Last time they had us in a boardroom, and we were just they were asking us questions. They gave us a couple of gifts. We got to play some interesting stuff. We got to test out some fuck you. He's got the best one.
I got the best one.
Is that the shit-eating grin you were talking about?
Yeah, that's that shit-eating grin that I'll never forgive him for. So yeah, that was last time. This time was a bit more organised, but at the same time, it kind of felt like we'd been downgraded a little bit. Because we were on the first floor rather than being on the 4th floor, and it was like right next to the entrance as you walk into TikTok HQ. But they'd set up like a stage for us to be on. They'd given us like this huge catered buffet to nibble our way through, which was nice. Like the food was lovely. Really happy about it. And then we started getting into like talks basically. So Wen-Yu, who's the organizer for these events, she's absolutely wonderful, lovely, true gamer at heart. She got up on stage. Yeah, had to give Wen massive hugs.
Massive hugs.
Love Wen. And then I got up and gave an impromptu speech, which absolutely fuck you. Absolutely fuck you. And I basically wrote this on the way there, this speech. It was meant to be 10 minutes, and it was meant to be on like the VR gaming market currently, where I thought the market was going to go in the future, and how Pico as a company can interact with people like us, you know, how they can interact with content creators, how devs can interact with us.
Egomaniacs.
Yeah, basically. How can they approach these egotistical narcissists we call content creators?
Because that's the only reason we do it.
So the audience, Diego, was the guys that were here. So us. There was a bunch of TikTok execs, Pico execs, and the guy, one of the lead designers from the Room VR.
Barry from Fireproof.
Yeah. And a few other people, including some other parts of the Pico departments. So there was only about, what do you say, about 20 people ish. It wasn't a big crowd.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I actually wrote the names down. So we had Lucas, who was from Pico. He's the community
manager.
He was the community manager. We had Wenyu, obviously. We had Kato from Japan. I know that sounds really bad. His name was actually Kato.
Yeah, he did come in actually from Japan for this event as well, which was quite nice.
Yeah, he did. We had Samir, who was the live stream manager. We had Barry from Fireproof, who was talking about Room VR. We had Nathan and Elaine from the Pico content department, and we had David from Pico Barcelona.
And then us reprobates.
So it's like me, Shuey, Clicks, Jay, and Not So Silent Rob.
Yeah. So maybe about 15 or so, but
yeah.
It was interesting, being able to talk to these people. I ran out of time and then told them some stuff that they may not have wanted to hear. But that was fine. And then we listened to the guy from the Room. He did a big talk about development of the Room VR, which is obviously like it's a household known VR game, and how they developed from going from pancake gaming, mobile pancake gaming onto VR, which was really interesting. Especially since that they almost explicitly said that they specifically work with mobile developers, in that they almost don't want to work with people like PlayStation, like Sony, like like Steam. They're not really interested in that. They want to work in the mobile wireless space.
Yeah, they want to work in the sort of standalone VR Quest 2 Pico sort of play space. And I got to play the Room VR for the first time, and I'm going to go and buy it because that was an amazing game.
Yeah, I played most of it. It's really good.
Yeah.
So Zen, I might not sound over enthused about it. I had a really good time. This is the important thing, right? I had a good time. I spent some time with some great people, but I was honestly expecting something just a step up from what it was. So that's not to say that they didn't do a good job. They did. They paid for us to go there. They paid for our food. It was wonderful. It was lovely. You just kind of expect something in TikTok HQ to be just that bit more grandiose. But maybe I'm asking too much. Who knows? But then we got to try some new stuff.
Yes, we did.
We got to try some new stuff. We got to see some new stuff. It was very interesting. So I think it's realistic to say there were sort of 4 things that we got to experience that aren't available yet, right? Max trying to think now, what are the 4 things?
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that's fine then. Okay, so what do you want to talk about? Which one of the 4 things do you want to talk about?
Right, okay, so Pico needs a killer app.
Yes.
They need a Beat Saber. And I think they've got it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a rhythm action. So I'm the wrong person to talk about rhythm action games. You are the right person. Actually, Rob also is the right guy to talk about rhythm action games, because he was dancing while he was playing, and I'm just like, but Rob was like proper, rhythm playing properly, dancing. Are we allowed to say the name?
Yeah, we're allowed to say the name. We can even get stock footage and things for it.
Okay. So I've forgotten what it was called.
Okay, so Beat Saber is not coming to Pico. at least anytime soon. That's just not something that's happening, right? Not least of which because it's owned by Oculus or owned by Meta, or Meta Studios or whoever it is that they're now calling themselves. So what Pico have done is they've actually designed and I want to make this very clear. It is not a Beat Saber clone. It is a Beat Saber competitor.
Yeah, absolutely.
It isn't just hitting blocks. They have made it its own thing, even though it's in the same sort of. You could argue that Ragnarok is a Beat Saber competitor or clone or whatever, and Cypher is in the same lane. So the game is called Cypher, and it's pretty fun. It's pretty good. They've already got a reasonably large library of mostly Asian music at the moment, because obviously it's a Chinese company. And I should have asked them actually when or if there was going to be more Western market music coming to them. But the name is good, Zen. I liked the name. I liked the tracks that I played. I really enjoyed them. I like from the get-go that they've listened to us and listened to the community and taken on board things that should have been there for Beat Saber much earlier on, but are now starting to come there more in the mod site, more in the mod scene.
Sabers.
Different types of sabers straight off the bat, native to the game. They include things like more sort of laser sword type things, more sort of, you've got actual lightsaber looking ones, you've got actual sort of Neo sword looking things, and that's cool. But we only got to play. I think I was the only person there that actually went exploring and managed to find another type of saber that they put in there, which is like these willow stick wands type things covered in cherry blossoms, that have this really nice pattern that comes from them, and that was really nice. But what they've done with this is they've also added different worlds that you can play in. So you're not just sat there like in Beat Saber, you're on a stage, right? Then they've gone a bit sort of beyond that. They've listened and they've said, right, okay, here is your Neo Tokyo stage, and the only other one we got to experience was like a really chilled out Zen Garden like stage, which was really well done, really well designed. But under that Zen Garden like stage were 5 unlockable different types of sabers, and I love that, right? So they've actually gone, we're not just going to give you the stuff, we're going to have unlockables within the game. And I like that because it provides some sort of challenge and progression through it. So the more you do, the more you unlock, the more songs you unlock, the more sabers you unlock, the more worlds you unlock. And I really like that. I think they've done a great... they've really pushed it. They've done some great things. They've even listened to how we were talking about we want different blocks to do different things, and how as you go to swipe through them, you really want to feel that, because I should have started with this really, rather than blocks coming towards you and that's it, in different parts, theirs is built in a circle, right? So all blocks are going to come in this circle form towards you. Apart from, and this is the bit that Mac's going to now talk about with great enthusiasm, and he should, because this is big. This is big. Go on, Mac. What is the other thing that you do in Cypher?
So I'm the most uncoordinated person in the world. I'm probably the worst person to talk about a rhythm action game, apart from Pistol Whip, which I seem to be very good. But it is, so what was his name? It was Kato from Japan. He was the guy who was developing the body tracking.
Fucking body tracking, native to the Pico.
Native to the Pico. So they had these basically small little strap-on, no, let's not use the word strap-on. Let's use the word Velcro strapped sensors that go on your legs. And they're so clever that they can tell, like they can see this motion, and they can see you stepping out, and they can actually see you also turning your thighs, which I thought was really clever. So they basically work with like now we strip them down and it's just a Bluetooth transmitter, isn't it?
Yeah, it's essentially a Bluetooth transmitter with a AAA battery.
Yeah. So the first time we tried them, they didn't work very well. This time, oh wow, they worked so good.
And they're so quick to sync as well.
Oh yeah, they're so quick to sync. So basically, you put the headset on, it spots that you've got them. It says, "Would you like to calibrate?" So you basically have to lift a leg, bend down, raise a leg to the left, raise a leg to the right. Done. Calibration done. And it has this little avatar that you can see, so you can see whether it's actually working or not. So the thing about Cypher is, you have your little laser sword things or your branches of cherry blossom, and you cut the blocks like you would do in Beat Saber. But there's also these patterns that appear on the floor that you have to stand on. Boink, boink. And then some of them are extended, so you have to hold your foot there. And some of them are like really quick, so you have to like move your feet like this. Now, as the most uncoordinated person in the world, I found this really challenging. So I got through the first level on normal, but you tried it on expert.
I tried it. So one of my initial problems with Cypher when we tried it 6 months ago was that it was too easy. And I really bashed them about this. I was like, this is crap. You need to do something about the difficulty level, because I'm getting through this on expert without any issues, like having never played the game, never played the music. And this time, I gave them the benefit of the doubt and tried it on hard mode. And it was challenging. And then I tried it on expert and I failed miserably.
Yeah.
And that's so the challenge rating is right. Like, for someone who's used to playing Beat Saber, that means that they've got it in the right place, challenge wise.
So, like Rob, who is obviously quite a talented rhythm action game player, he got to the point where he was like physically dancing when he was playing. I've got a video of it somewhere, but he was not like me. I would be concentrating and going and stamping, but he was moving and he was dancing, and it was actually quite nice to watch somebody who's really good at a rhythm action game play Cypher using the full body tracking, because I think that is going to be a content fucking goldmine for somebody who's really, really good at it. It's like a combination of Feet Saber and Beat Saber, which Beat Saber can't do, but Cypher can because of the trackers.
Yeah. No, it is very good. I'm obviously, this is not, they're billing this new tracker system towards Cypher as a game, but obviously that's not the only use for them. They can utilize, there's no reason why these can't be utilized within VR chats, within
Avatars.
within an avatar. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's what I'm most excited about, because one of the things when I sold my index, I actually lost the ability to do my avatar like pistol whip videos, because I really enjoyed doing those. Nobody watched them, but I enjoyed it. So if they bring this back in Pico with Cypher, and then I can play pistol whip with the trackers and use an avatar, oh wow, it's incredible.
Okay, so I'm just having a look at these new Vive trackers, and they look amazing.
The new Vive
yeah, I hadn't seen these until just now.
Just asked, I think about cameras. There's no cameras. It's using the Pico headset, isn't it?
It's using the Pico headset and gyroscopic accelerometers. I think.
Yeah, there you go.
It's not going to be anywhere near as in depth as this, but then I think these trackers for the Pico are going to be exceedingly cheap as well. I think they're going to come in at like 50 quid for a pair. Which is obviously very affordable compared to the likes of the Vive lineup of stuff previously.
It's basically the best. It's the cheapest way you can get into full body tracking.
Tell you what, these Vive trackers may actually push me to consider buying the Vive XR Elite headset.
No, don't spend the money.
Well,
don't spend the money.
This is the important thing, right? So let's get through the other things quickly. So we've spoke about the game. We spoke about the trackers. The other two items are less exciting, but still very, very good. Well, one of them's really good, and one of them, honestly, is well made, but honestly, in my opinion, is pointless.
Okay, yeah, you're talking about the carry case.
Yeah, so the carry case is better, straight up better than the Quest 2 carry case, the way they've designed it. It's got some really neat little features. It's really robust. I really do think I could throw it down a flight of stairs and it would be good. I think I could probably stand on it and it would still be good.
You didn't like the strap?
I didn't like the strap because it was made. It's still in the design phase. The strap was made of like this PU leather, and I didn't like that. I want it to be made out of something a bit more robust.
The magnet.
The magnet for the zip is actually really nice, and on the tab for the zip actually magnetizes back to the case to keep it from flapping all over the place. That was nice. But the interesting other thing that they've just produced is a new facial interface. Was it? It wasn't PU, was it? It was silicon.
No, it was. It was a fitness facial interface.
But it was comfy as fuck.
Oh, it was fucking.
It was glorious.
Brilliant. And as well, it held the headset off your face.
Yeah.
So that you use prescription lenses like I do, you won't have to use the glasses spacer.
Yeah,
so,
no, it's really good. Well worth it.
Sell that shit now. Sell that shit now.
Yeah.
Fuck.
No, it's a really good add-on. If you've got a Pico, you're going to be wanting to buy one of those. I guarantee you. But here's the so we've been through those. I just want the last thing about the Pico event. I've been speaking to Pico's streaming service manager for Tamir. Sorry, was it
Tamir or Samir? I've written down Samir. Sorry.
Okay, possible. I thought his name was Amira. That's what her.
Amira, yes. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
I've probably heard it wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, we've probably pronounced it wrong, and I apologize if you're watching. But yeah, basically, they have offered me a streaming contract with their Pico in-headset streaming service. It's going to be. This is the thing, right? It's kind of staying within the VR space without being VR, because I'm going to be streaming flat screen games directly into the headset, but I'm actually going to be getting paid an hourly rate for this. So it's actually worthwhile to me to be realistically considering this. And the cool thing about it, other than me getting paid and actually possibly making a career out of this, is that the idea is Pico wants to create this space where when you put on the headset, you can go and watch streamers in this fully developed VR room, streamed in 8K in front of you, which I think is a really cool idea. So I'm not Shuey's going corporate, because I look like the corporate guy. This is the thing. I specific as part of this, there's no structure on. So there are certain things that I can't say on stream, but realistically, that is just don't be there trying to pop off and talk about fucking meta, which I'm more than happy not to do.
Yeah.
And the rest of it is just me being myself, playing some games that I would otherwise have liked to have had time to play, but I don't because I'm mainly focusing on other things.
So my take from this was that, from having the conversation, was that if you can stream anything you want, because basically what Pico are trying to do is they're trying to rival Twitch and YouTube.
To an extent,
they want content creators on board. If you are doing PC VR stuff or you're doing sort of flat screen gaming, that's fine. If you're doing Pico stuff, then that's what they're more interested in, because then you can mirror it to their live streaming events. You can mirror it directly to TikTok, which is the thing that I was most excited about, because I don't really have a presence on TikTok, and I would like to have a presence on TikTok. But being an old guy, I don't really understand what it is. It's just like young girls dancing and taking their clothes off.
Not anymore.
No, that's not what I'm interested in.
That's
What
the
I'm
whole reason
interested
you built the Mac Cave, because of TikTok.
It is, yeah.
Privacy.
So what I liked about what they said is that you can stream on YouTube and you can mirror it straight to Pico's streaming platform, like seamlessly, and TikTok at the same time. So that, as a content creator, that makes me excited, because like I need views, I need to get paid, because this is my job now. You know, I'm not making any excuses. Me and Shuey had a long conversation about this on Wednesday. Shuey would like to stop going to his job where he could possibly get blown up or like injure his shoulder at work, and get dropped into a confined spaces situation with PPE that isn't adequate for his physique, shall we say. So like for me, that was extremely exciting. And I am like the same as Shuey is. I'm very excited about that, because if you enable content creators, you get free advertising. So you release a game, people like me and Shuey and Serge, not so much at the moment, but in the future maybe, we'll jump on that game and we will play it and we will stream it, and it will go to TikTok, it will go to whatever Pico's live streaming service is going to be called, it will go to YouTube. So it's basically just free advertising. And the thing I love about free advertising is I'm playing a game that I want to play and I'm enjoying myself. So why should I not get paid for doing that? So yeah, it was a very exciting conversation that we had.
So in answer to Zen's question, which I feel attacked, that wounded me deeply, buddy.
Which one was this? Oh, Shuey's going corporate.
No. It was why you specifically, out of curiosity. Do you not think I'm good enough?
No, I'm going to answer this. I'm going to answer this for you. So at the previous meeting at Pico, they asked us to do like a brainstorming session, and Shuey stood up and he said, when I'm in the Pico home environment, I want to throw a game that I'm playing at the wall and make a portal, and I throw my favorite games at the wall, make portals, so that when I turn on my headset, I don't even have to press a button. I just have to walk towards the portal and I'm in the game. So who we were talking to at the time said the developers have actually picked up on this, and that is going to be implemented. So that is why he was approached first, because that idea was genius.
Also, so that we're clear, for that particular contract, I had to actually interview for it. It wasn't just offered. I actually had a full interview process as part of that. So it was pretty involved. I was bricking it. If some of you saw a couple of weeks ago me offering like monetary services to learn Minecraft, now you know why. But yeah, it was interesting. As far as Paul, you're going to need a massive marketing push to create a successful streaming service. YouTube and Twitch hold way too much hold on that. We have seen Microsoft shot a load of money in Mixer and just fail. I don't disagree with you. However, one thing that you're not really taking into account is that it's TikTok, man.
Yeah.
Like if they're talking about our streams that are going to the headsets that they're going to be paying for are also going to be directly mirrored straight to the TikTok app as well. So no matter what happens, like they're going to have a huge audience already built in there. Obviously, depending on how things go in the US. So,
yeah. Who was that young girl with the dark hair? Because was she a Twitch streamer?
You're talking about Cyborg Angel, which, by the way, go follow her on Twitch.
Yeah,
she is pretty awesome. Not that she needs it. She's at like 71k subs on Twitch.
We're just like peons.
Yeah, we are peons in Hey Tribe. Yeah, we are peons in we are about a drop in the bucket compared to her current followers. But yeah, anyway, that's I think, unless there's anything more you want to say about Pico.
Yeah, because we've I do apologise to Serge here. We've kind of excluded him. He was invited, but you couldn't come down because you weren't very well. That's fine. So, what would you like to talk about next, then, Serge?
Give me a sec.
Have you got a list?
Apple.
I mean, he's looking at the same list as I am.
Yeah, so there's a couple.
Yeah, but he hasn't wrote it down.
No, I've got it here in front of me. So Apple headset, and then a couple of games that are coming on PSVR 2, and then I'm gonna shoot off a whole load of games that are coming out really soon. And that's it.
Okay.
Works for me.
So Apple, go on then. Go for it, Apple.
Apple sucks. Next subject.
So they're basically bringing out a headset way too late. It's really, really expensive, and it's going to be kind of what's inside it isn't going to be the best compared to what's going on at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's what? It's $3,000.
Yeah, but you got to remember, there's a lot of Apple wankers out there who will just buy it.
Yeah, well, there are Apple wankers out there that spent, what was it, $999 on the carry stand for their PC, for their Mac. So if they're willing to spend that on a stand, then maybe they are willing to spend $3,000 on a really shit looking headset. I mean, like, aesthetic wise, I think it looks garbage.
Oh, I'm a gamer, so I'm only interested in games.
Yeah.
So this thing has no controllers, and as far as I'm aware, it has no games. It's not coming out with a killer app. It's not coming out with a Beat Saber
that we know of currently.
That we know of currently. It's just like, so what Apple do really well is they come to the market late and go, oh, look what we've done. And people are like, yeah, well, we did that 5 years ago. But they do make the headsets look beautiful. The interface is very, very easy to use, though it is very controlling. They have these little click controller things for your fingers. So there's no controllers. You just have these little like clicker buttons on your thumb.
Which I love, if I'm honest.
That's a great idea. So if it's pure hand tracking, and you don't need controllers, that's amazing. But why would I buy one? I wouldn't, because I want to play games. The AR stuff sounds amazing. If they use that incredible sort of scanning system that the Apple 13, 14 phones have.
The LiDAR stuff, yeah.
The LiDAR stuff. It's incredible. But what would make me as a gamer buy that headset? Well, there's nothing
yet.
There's nothing
yet. Like,
you could go.
No, you go, mate.
I mean, with all that finger tracking stuff, you can still have invisible controllers and play games. They could figure out a way to do it, but they're not aiming for that, are they? They probably will bring stuff out slowly. What was that for, Mac?
I know, it was like the finger tracking here. Fucking track those fingers. Yeah, no, I'm too expensive, too late, not interested.
I'm just not happy about the idea of having a cable that goes down to my waist. Like, what a fucking pointless idea. Just stick it on the back of the head to counterbalance. Just learn from every other VR manufacturer at the moment that's producing standalones. The battery goes at the back. Meta, the battery goes at the fucking back. And the rest of it goes at the front. Like
Quest 3. Batteries in the front.
Yeah,
straps on the back.
Yeah.
But it does look extremely small and very light.
No. I understand if the headset's light enough, you don't need a counterweight. I get it. I understand. I understand that. It's not even about counterbalancing for me so much as having a fucking wire running down my back to a battery. When it could have been stuck on the strap. That bothers me. It's not going to bother me that much because I'm not going to fucking buy it.
No, neither am I. Is it also linked to the Apple sort of interface. So
ecosystem.
you have to, the ecosystem. You have to have
It's going to be, Apple ID and all that
really?
bollocks. I'm sure it will be. Why wouldn't they? You'd have to have that. Everyone's got it. Meta's got it, and you'd have to have Apple ID login and maybe probably connect it to your phone, like you do with other headsets. Have the app for that. Yeah.
Android. Go fuck yourself.
Diego, yes. The answer is yes. The PSVR 2 cable does bother me. Does that stop me from using the PSVR 2? No, it doesn't. It's one of those things that, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like you commute to work. You don't like it, you still fucking do it.
Yeah. 6 months ago, you were both wireless wankers, weren't you?
I was.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind the cable if I had a higher ceiling, but I don't, and therefore I do mind the cable.
Are you You're not using a pulley?
I am using a pulley, but my ceiling height is super low, man.
Yeah.
Like super low, to the point of problematic.
Have you tried taking your socks off?
I need to take off them comfy socks to gain that extra 2 millimeters.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Put in a tip tutorial again.
Like, there are several scuff marks along my ceiling where I've tried to husk grenades and I've broken fingers. So.
Yeah, and you don't want to fuck up the controllers as well.
The thing, right? So I absolutely love my PSVR 2. I just think it's a great headset. The thing I found now is I'm doing the same thing with that I used to do with my Index. Is after every game of Pavlov, I put the pass-through on, and then I look up, see how tangled my cable is, then decide whether to take my headset off, untangle my cable, put my headset back on, which was that mega Pavlov session we had on the stream where we were playing Gun Game and One in the Chamber and was it Hyde? That was fucking crazy.
Hyde was great.
Hyde was fucking. We need to do that again.
Yeah.
We should do the content creators get hunted by like subs, or content creators hunt subs, like Classic Buddy. So it's like, it's annoying, and I can see that cable getting fucked. The same as my Index
I'm worried about that.
After about a year. So with the PSVR 2, the cable goes into the headset, but then the cable then plugs into the actual front of the headset. So I'm wondering whether they've done that so that you can actually physically remove the cable.
It's quite easy to remove, apparently. I have looked into how it works. So pulling the headset apart is actually quite simple.
Yeah. So I've been when we were playing Pavlov, my cable got tangled like fuck, and I can see that cable dying the same as my Index cable did, which I'm quite worried about. But that's what we have warranties for.
I was watching a teardown video comparison of the PSVR 1 and 2, and it's like night and day. The PSVR 2 is so much easier to access, like opening it and changing stuff. So, you never know, man. Might have a little connector one day. Who knows?
Yeah. So let's move on to.
I want to talk. Breaches. Yeah, I was going to say, can we talk about Breaches? Because Tribe is he is singing Breaches praises at the moment, because of the 3 new maps that they've released. So my plan is, hopefully next week, I've got most of the week off before heading up to WASD. So I plan on getting on Breaches.
It's out on the 13th of April on Steam and Quest 2.
So you have early access.
It's available on SideQuest.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. So I've actually got it, but I've never played it.
I played it for an hour or 2.
You streamed it, I think, did you?
No, I couldn't stream it. That's why I basically couldn't stream it. A lot of people couldn't stream it. A week later, they still didn't fix it. So I said to the devs, "What are you doing about it?" They didn't. They just shrugged their shoulders. So I just said, "All right," and I just left the game. Basically,
okay.
Just didn't bother. Yeah. But I think it's fixed now. They fixed it since then, but it shouldn't take a week to sort that out. And they still didn't. It took more than a week. But from what I played, it was decent. But
is it Rainbow Six? Is it Rainbow Six in VR?
I never played Rainbow Six, man.
It's as close as we've got currently to Rainbow Six in VR.
Okay, so I played a lot of Rainbow Six. I love Rainbow Six.
You see Siege, I'm assuming you're talking.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's a really good idea. It's got some really good mechanics behind it, and I really do want to try it. In fact, Tribe, hit me up some point next week, if you fancy it, buddy, and we'll jump on together, because
Yeah,
it's
hit
been
me too. I'll
forever.
play it. I'll
It's
play
been
it.
forever since I played with you as well, man. I think the last time was Walkabout Mini Golf. That was a weird stream. Weird stream. Like 10, 11 at night or something.
Everything's weird with Tribe. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, so
Paul from the VR Realms is here as well. So
I am looking forward to it.
We'll try and get it. It's like 5 versus 5, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, let's try and get a full. Let's try and get a full lobby in 5 versus 5. Yeah, that should be good fun.
Yeah,
as long
I'm
as
up
I'm
for that.
on Fitz's team. No, sorry, as long as I'm on Fitz's team.
No, he said it now. Mac is not on Fitz's team.
Fuck!
That's how this works now. Mac's agreed to be the team captain, and Fitz can be the other team captain.
Yeah, Mac's the hunted.
Okay, no, right. So what I'm going to do is, I'll be team captain for the breaches, and then Weeble can be the team captain for the defenders, and I get Fitz, Tassos, Surge, and Shuey, and
what? And Tribe gets.
Weeble can pick his own team.
What if we don't want to be in your team, Mac?
Yeah,
I do not want to be in my team.
I want to be on Tribe's team. I love his voice.
Yeah.
Ah.
He hasn't got that weird North twang.
Yeah.
How here, pet? Let's breach that door, like, you know what I mean?
There's no chainsaws in that game, Mac. There's no Marcus Phoenix tools. But I did play it, and I thought it was. I played with randoms. Yeah, it was decent, but that was very early up when it first came out. And Chewy's got to log out pretty soon. So Chewy.
I was going to say, we had on there about lo-fi. Do we want to talk about lo-fi quickly, and then we'll call it?
Yep.
Yeah, right. Lo-fi, the eternal virgin that's supposed to be coming out anytime soon. You have to buy
the last 18 months.
Yeah.
You have to buy it through Itch.io. You have to
Itch.io. Yeah.
But apparently, it was one of the big things when it was crowdfunded that it was going to be available for PSVR 2, and then we didn't know whether PSVR 2 was coming out, so that went really quiet. And now it is coming for PSVR 2. So is that going to be the definite edition?
No.
Yeah, I agree.
I think lo-fi is going to be one of those games that genuinely will be better the better system you have.
Yeah.
Because it's so like the scope of it is just so massive.
Yeah.
That I just see it being like, if you've got a 4090, you'll have an absolutely phenomenal experience.
So if you follow Blair Renault on Twitter, he doesn't do himself any favors, does he?
No. I DM'd him once a few years back, and I was like,
"Oh, mate, don't DM him, for the love of God."
Yeah,
he is so aggressive.
I just like, fuck it then. I ain't playing this fucking game. Yeah, Paul from the VR Realm did say he backed it in November 2020 when that was meant to be the original date of release. But I think he's doing it solo. But the main thing that I've been following it and watching videos, and people that make content is like, so where's the update? This update, all this changes. There's a new robot that talks to you, and that's been having months and stuff. So he must have got some funding or something to get some more people involved, maybe.
The thing is, he's obviously a very, very intelligent, very, very driven guy, right?
I know exactly what you're going to say.
I'm not sure if you do or not. He gets an idea in his head and he makes something wonderful, but then about 70% into that, he'll get another idea in his head, and he has to follow that idea. Like he sort of has that typical ADHD mindset from what I've seen of his development. where he'll find something and then he'll get locked onto it and he'll follow that down the rabbit hole and down the rabbit hole and down. But consequently, the first bit is still not done.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if he's ever gonna actually be able to release this as a whole game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not to say I'm not excited for it.
All the feedback I've seen from people that have got it and they do content on it, they're not very happy. So he said 2023, I think, on the PSVR 2. That's what still got 9 months left.
So can I make a small comparison here? And so Star Citizen is like this massive game that's been going for years and it's been crowdfunded, and people are saying it's a scam because it'll never actually finish, and because it just, you know, and that's the feeling I get from Blair Renault's game.
No, I'm 100% against this statement.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not using the word scam. What I'm saying is that I think he's one of these people who's a perfectionist and he has to have that. So the release date has gone back and gone back and gone back and gone back for the reasons that Serge and you have said. He has this idea for this game, which is, I think, beyond the scope of like one person.
Yeah, I agree with that, definitely.
If he's going to bring the game to its vision that he has, he's going to need help.
Or compromise, one of the two.
I don't think he will.
No, I don't think he will.
I don't think he'll compromise because, like Serge said, I reached out to him and the answer to my DM was interesting.
Box creator.
Yeah.
Like I would be surprised if it was any nicer than that.
Can I have this game for free? No, fuck off, basically.
Yeah, and that's understand. Like, I get that mindset, I really do, but just don't be a dick about it. Just have like a note that just says, "Hey, you're a content creator. I need to make money, so I'm not giving this away for free." And everyone will be like, "Fine, that's totally cool, dude."
No. It's so we go back to this whole Pico fucking live streaming thing. Is that the best thing about content creators is it's free advertising. So if, like, as a content creator, I mean, I'm being genuine here. My channel is tiny. You know, realistically, he could have just told me to fuck off because my channel was too small. But there's no such thing as free advertising. There's no such thing as, what am I looking for? What's the word I'm looking for?
Bad press.
There's no such thing as bad press. Thank you very much, Serge.
That's wrong as well in the review world.
If I'd have got access and played the game, I could have said, wow, this has immense potential, but blah, 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 it has these amount of problems. Like Ghost of Tabor has done. Like Ghost of Tabor is like, it's got so many problems, but it's so good that you just want to play it. So I think that his approach is very, it's a bit odd. Blair Renault is his own person. I agree that he's awkward to deal with. But his game looks so good.
It looks beautiful. It looks very Blade Runner-esque, which I'm a massive fan of. I cannot wait to play it when it finishes.
Are you going to wait, or are you going to get involved earlier?
No, I'm going to wait. I've come to the conclusion in a lot of, like, Ghosts is a bit of a special occasion for me, because of the type of game it is. But I've actually come to the conclusion that I don't actually enjoy as much as I thought I would getting in on the ground floor of a lot of these games in VR, because the ground floor is pretty fucking buggy. Like it's you really need a flamethrower to clear out those bugs.
Right. I just want to talk about Peaky Blinders then, just briefly.
I was just thinking about that game literally 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what happened to me was I went down to EGX and I played the Peaky Blinders demo, which is where you go into the Garrison pub and you talk to Tommy, and then you have to do the thing. So from that contact, I then was given early access to the content creator extended demo. And I played it, and I sent an email, and you've seen the email.
Yeah.
And I was then excluded. Now, your experience went a little bit further than that, didn't it, Shuey?
Yeah. I didn't kick up too much of a stink. To begin with. And I got invited to the launch party.
Woo!
But when I kicked up a stink at the launch party, they asked me to leave.
Right, so can we talk about the Beardo Benjo controversy? Because he's been hammered over the past week.
Yeah, he had a really bad time of it, didn't he?
He said that Peaky Blinders was the best game on Quest 2 this year.
What else has come out this year?
No, I'm sorry, but if somebody shit in your mouth and they're the only person to shit in your mouth that year, that doesn't make the best person that shits in your mouth that year.
Sounds like the best shag ever. The
That's called the Cleveland Steamer, isn't it? That's
the Cleveland Steamer. Peaky Blinders, The King's Ransom, was an utter pile of steaming shit, and I've said this on the podcast before, right? And I'm not being bitter that I was excluded.
Do we not need to go in?
After I got access to the content creators? I actually emailed them and said, you cannot release this game as it is, because it is like the story's great, the Tommy bits, the Arthur bits, blah blah blah. The shooting is garbage. You can't make this an action shooter. You have to concentrate on the story. And I got blanked for that statement. I got taken off the guest list, chucked into the never ever fucking talk to this cunt again, the baldy twat. But you, Stewie, were a bit more.
Yeah, so I went to the launch event. I went through, and don't get me wrong, like the launch event was pretty cool. Me and Clicks were there, and
what you saw of it.
Yeah, what I saw of it, and then we went into a room that had like 30 headsets, Pico and Quest 2, and Clicks had played the demo, but he hadn't tried a Pico, so he went and sat down and played the demo. And I asked one of the guys, was like, is this like a new thing, like, or is it just the same like demo that's been around for a while? I'm just like, oh, it's the same demo. I was just like, oh, okay. She's like, what do you think of it? And I was like, oh, I really like the atmosphere. I really like the immersion of talking to Tommy and being in the Garrison pub. I really like the way you've designed Sam, the protagonist, yada, yada, yada. But your action sequences are absolute garbage. And you could see that she was like visibly offended by this. And I was like, that's not to say that the game is going to be bad. I'm just saying, like, I hope that there are no more action sequences because they're bad. And then one of the other guys came over and was just like, "Oh, can you leave?" And I was just like,
they literally
"What?
Said, can you leave?" Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, "Can you leave?" And I was just like, that's odd, but okay. And I had no intention of leaving. So I went to the back of the room, back into the stables where like the big act and everything for the launch was had already happened, and then just stood there basically and waited, because I was meant to be interviewing people from like the Peaky Blinders development team. So I was going nowhere because I knew I was going to interview these people. Plus, the guy that I came with, Clickster, was still sat there playing their fucking game. It was a weird situation to be in. But yeah, I ended up going back and then just sort of snuck my way back in to where they were doing the demos later on.
It would be great if they got security to escort you out. That'd be hilarious.
No, the thing is, right, is the people that were organising, the marketing team were wonderful people. They were really lovely. They gave me like this nice tote bag with some really cool shit in it. They even gave me like an extra t-shirt for my wife. They gave me an extra like Peaky Blinders branded fucking flat cap for her as well. Like they were super nice people.
Did they rip the bag out of your hand when they asked you to leave?
No, I didn't have it at that point.
Oh, you got it before?
This was later. When they kicked me out, that's when I started talking to the marketing people.
So this to me, like I experienced it quite early on because I sent that email and I was like, all right, I think I'm out of this. Is that they don't want me specifically. They don't want you to tell them what the game is before they release it. They want the yes guys, which is why I'm so surprised at Bido Benjo's review, because he was like, oh, this game is great, and I was like, no dude, it's fucking rubbish. It's bad. The cinematics, Cillian Murphy, brilliant, all that sort of stuff, but the like fundamental mechanics of the game were bad. So I actually got banned before you, but you got banned like fuck off
in person. Yeah,
it's rare as a VR content creator that you get banned from something in person. That was new.
Oh my god!
Do
you know what? I wish I hadn't sent that email so that I could have got banned with you, and we could have like walked out like this. We got banned from Peaky Blinders.
I'm just sort of looking through his comments, and there are some pretty brutal ones, to be fair. But on the whole, they seem to be pretty sort of like, yeah, go Bido.
Yeah, but the right. So I mean, I nearly met Bido. I walked past him. He was
He's a super nice guy, man. Oh, Bido is lovely.
He is, and his reaction to his reaction on YouTube was, I really enjoyed that game. I don't see why I'm getting so much shit.
I think the problem is people seem to take content creators as being like these fountains of knowledge, and we're kind of like, you know, when like the Super Bowl is on and they have like the chicken that picks the winner, and but there are thousands of chickens. This is what people don't understand. There are thousands of chickens, and like half of them will be right, and then the next game, half of them will be right again, and eventually you get to like maybe a couple of them that are like Mystic Meg, but for chickens, and they'll have picked the right winners throughout the entire Super Bowl season-y thing, right? And that's kind of how people see creators, because you're good up until the point where you're wrong as far as they're concerned. Yeah. And then you're just written off.
I enjoyed Horizon Call the Mountain.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I don't.
It's not a good game.
God damn it! Here we go again. But that's my opinion. It, again, going back to that, it's expensive, but it wasn't a bad game.
It wasn't a bad game.
It wasn't a bad game. It was a good game. It was, Peaky Blinders, The King's Ransom, is a bad game. You can't you can do all the Tommy stuff, but when it comes down to the action, it's possibly the most amateurish, worst, shitty experience I've ever had in VR. You have this route that you have to take, right? So you're there. Your goal is there, literally there, right? To open the gate for the boat to leave, it's there. Why couldn't I just climb over those fucking crates? No, you can't, because you have to go down this really linear path and all these identical communists with the face masks jump out at you with shit guns, and you have to shoot them. And there's piles of ammunition, and there's piles of
Molotovs.
Molotov cocktails, and you just have to go reload, Molotov cocktail, shoot, reload, Molotov cocktail, until you finally get to open the fucking gate for the thing so the boat can go through, and it's bad. And then there's this thing where there's a guy creeping up behind Arthur. Do you remember that one? There's a guy creeping up behind Arthur.
Yeah,
and I was like,
he's...
bang, 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 bang. What is my gun not working? And Arthur goes, oh, I'm Arthur. Ooh, stab, die. And you're like, it didn't even tell you that I was not an interactive part of the game. And I was like,
yeah, they could have just even removed the gun from your hand at that point.
Yeah, so that's when I sent my email. I sent you the full email on Discord, and you were like, "Nah, that's fair enough." And that was me.
But to be fair, I'm trying to make my way through the game. I really am, and I'm struggling. Like I'm. But the thing is, right, is I know that at the forefront of my head I'm enjoying parts of it, but then another bit of my brain is just going, "There's going to be an action sequence soon." And I'm just like, "Oh God, no, not an action sequence."
You sounded like Andy Serkis when you said that. Action sequence soon. Fuck. No, it was. I'm sorry. I said on my Discord, don't buy it, it's fucking garbage. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna go slightly more passive than that. If you really can't get your rocks off without like Cillian Murphy in your life, then buy this game and just play the first like 15 minutes over and over and over again. It'll be like, you know how you have your favorite porn video saved in your favorites on your phone. It'll be like that. But what's porn?
Yeah, but you can only watch it 2 or 3 times, then you start to get fucking bored. So,
well, then it's not a favorite, is it, Mac? That's just a passing fancy. Anyway, we have gone off topic, and that I think is the end of the night. I am way past my bedtime.
Yeah, I was just going to really quickly say, Vertigo 2 on the 30th of March.
Oh, yes.
Switchback is being worked on. Swordsman VR has a sandbox mode in PSVR 2. Half-Life 2 Episode 1 mod is available.
Oh, God. Tomorrow. So much stuff that we needed to go over.
Not for broadcast in 3 days, 23rd. Ghost Signals the 23rd. Samurai Slaughterhouse is coming to App Lab.
Yeah, I'm super happy for that guy. He has been working his ass off on that game for years.
And PSVR, on PCVR.
Yep, and that's something I've been looking forward to. Creed Rise to Glory, PSVR 2 on the 4th of April. Breach is the 13th of April. I think Battle Talent was announced soon. Zero Caliber's had an update with 3 new maps, I believe.
The PCVR, yes.
They're ending Zenith. They're ending basically Zenith on the PSVR 1 and Quest 1 support as well.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah, but no company ever played it, so that's okay.
I think that's it then. Yeah.
We needed to have like the old school. We interrupt this news this program for a special news bulletin, and then just have Indy reel off what he just did. That would have worked really well.
We can do that. I can do it. Yeah. Don't worry about that. I'll do it with the Bollywood accent and everything.
Oh, please do that next time.
Head shake and everything.
If you've got your camera working, I want to see you in like a belly dancer's outfit doing exactly that.
Not want to see that.
Have another glass of wine, mate. You'll agree to it. Don't worry.
It's called rose-tinted glasses, Mac. The more of that vino, that goes down.
No,
yeah, right.
still looks like a symbol to me.
With that sick image in everyone's head, I think that's it for tonight, right?
That is indeed,
Yeah, I
ladies
think
and
so.
gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us. I've been Power on VR.
I've been Mac in VR.
I've been the faceless indie VR. Indian VR.
Yeah, I was wondering where you would go with that. I was like, indie in VR? No, just Indian VR.
Oh my God. It's been another great fucking podcast.
It has,
Appreciate
guys,
it,
yes.
man. It's absolutely
Cheers for
brilliant.
joining, people. We'll
Thanks,
see you next
everyone.
time.